Welcome back to another episode of our Crusader Kings 2 Let's Play Nerdstalgic Splains, Crusader Kings 2 Irish Spring. Alright, so our old dad, dear old dad, Murchad, just kicked the bucket. So we've got a whole slew of alerts up here that we need to sort through before we unpause the game. We need to kind of assess the situation, see how dangerous it is. So, see, our first one here is to pick an ambition. So what are our options? We can become King of Ireland or build a war chest. Well, I really like doing the war chest. Let's just build a war chest. And now we have an important decision to extort the subjects, which we're not going to do. We can see title loss on succession. County of Desmoumain will go to Murchad MacBrien, and County of Lagan will go to Aranach MacBrien. So you can see he has 3 sons. Now, the way that Gavelkind works is that the primary title goes to the primary heir, which will be your oldest. It defaults to your oldest. So this guy right here, Fursu MacBrien, you can see heir to the petty kingdom of Mumu. So when King Brian kicks the bucket, if nothing changes, what would happen would be that all 4 of these counties here, the overarching title and the county seat, which is Tuadmumain, would go to Fursu. Then the second son here, Aranach, would get Lagan. And the third son would get Desmoumain. And then this would go to nobody because it's not under us. So we want to avoid that. That would be a terrible thing because basically, more than likely, the other siblings, his brothers, are not going to like him because they're title claimants. So we want to avoid having that happen if at all possible. Now, the ways that we can get around this is we could do a law change with inheritance. We could switch our inheritance law over to something like, we could go seniority, where basically just the oldest member of the dynasty inherits. Doesn't even have to be in your direct line. Doesn't have to be your son. It could actually be, you know, like a brother or an uncle or something like that. Primogeniture, everything would go to the eldest son, which might be the lesser of all evils here in this situation, but not too sure yet. Primogeniture stinks whenever your oldest son, it really bites you when you have an oldest son that's terrible and like a second son that's great. Elective monarchy is typically the direction I like to go in. And basically the way that elective monarchy works is that it's just like it says, the ruler and each low-ranked vassal can nominate a successor from among themselves and legitimate children and siblings of the ruler. So if we went elective monarchy right now, basically there would be 2 people who would have a vote. It would be myself and this guy here, which we're planning on getting rid of. If we get rid of this guy, there'll only be 1 vote. So basically, elective monarchy is really good because it lets you just pick whichever son you want. Now, you can't pick daughters because we are agnatic cognatic. We'd have to go absolute cognatic to be able to choose women. Tanistry is basically... The way that Tanistry works is that it's kind of like elective monarchy. Well, kind of, in the sense that people get to vote, but it's all vassals 1 and 2 ranks below you, which doesn't really matter for us because there are no vassals that are 2 ranks below us. But they nominate an heir, the Tanist, from among the members of the ruler's dynasty. So it can be anybody in the dynasty, and vassals tend to favor older members from other branches of the family. So it kind of spreads out the power, I guess. And then ultimogeniture is the opposite of primogeniture. Instead, you get the youngest son. So I think our best bet here is to try to go to elective monarchy. So if we look at this little question mark, we can see what we need to go to elective monarchy. So we have 2 X's, has reigned for at least 10 years. So we can switch this potentially in 1094. And no vassal has a negative opinion of you. Which, once we get rid of this guy, I imagine that should take care of that. Yeah, negative 29. Actually, if we give him a seat on the council, he would be in the positive, which we might, I don't know, we might do that. because he has a really good intrigue score. Really good intrigue score. And if we press his claim on Oath Rage here, this guy would love us. He would love us. Alright, so that handles that. We have open council positions, so we need to fill these. So let's take a look and see what we got. Chancellor. Actually, we're thinking about making this guy the Spy Master, so could you do anything else? Well, he doesn't feel like he's a powerful vassal, so we can just get rid of him on the council. It's not a huge deal, so let's go ahead and put this guy on the council. And you can see he jumped up to 15 from that. Opinion of predecessor. I've never seen that before. So he really hated our dad, so that kind of carried over a little bit to us. Then I think we're going to try to make this guy like us a little bit. So we're going to give him an honorary title. And we will make him the High Almoner. Now he's up to 20. What about gifting? Okay. Can't get much out of it. It's probably not worth it. Still, a 20's not bad. And then the downside here is I don't think he can find plots against himself. So we may be trying to play ball with this guy for a while. So in that case, why don't we have you study technology? No. Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. Because if somebody catches him and he dies, then we are his heir. Paris. Send you to Paris. I don't know why we can't get over to Byzantine. All right, Chancellor. Wow, that guy's going to be a good marshal. Okay, so we're going to make you. Actually, you guys are both. You're not that, but you're not that bad. You guys are not that bad. So let's make you the marshal. You would be a good marshal, but you're not a powerful vassal, so go ahead and make you the marshal. Have you train troops? Chancellor. You know what? We're gonna make you the chancellor, and I'm gonna have you fabricate in Sildara, and then steward. We'll go with Finbar here. Works out. He's a powerful vassal. Now, early on in the game, don't think that you've just absolutely got to put the powerful vassal people in power, because the main thing about not putting the powerful vassal people in power is if they are a powerful vassal and they're not on your council, then there's an increased likelihood that they're going to faction against you. Well, this early in the game, our powerful vassals are like mayors and bishops. So even if they do faction against us, they're not really going to have a lot of firepower to come against us with. So it's not a huge deal. And as you could see there, I have powerful vassals that I'm not even worried about trying to give a spot to, because it doesn't really matter. Let them faction against me. I don't care. All right, so that handled all of our council positions. Everybody has a job. Now we have this. Council is discontented. So every time your ruler dies, your council is going to go into a bit of a discontent mode. And what that means is that for 2 years, the councilors can actually form and join factions. After those 2 years, it goes back to lockdown. So, yeah, not a good thing, but not necessarily a bad thing either. Because if your council likes you, which all of our councilors are in the positive, so probably won't faction against us, but we'll see. And then we need to pick a character focus. So we kind of talked about this. He does need more stewardship. However, it's not super pressing right now. We don't want to hitch the cart ahead of the horse here. I mean, and without levies, we're not going to be taking any more counties. So I'm thinking we're going to go hunting focus here. And that'll boost us up and give us even more levies. So, yeah. Very good. So we do have 2 vassals with negative opinions here. Now what we could do is see how is he? 3, 0. She's 34. So they could still have more kids. You know, once those kids, that second and third son, and however many other sons we have, come of age, we can actually do what I said here. We can appoint successors. So we may want to do that anyways to get some of these guys out of succession. Like this guy right here, he does not like us very much. He's our uncle. He doesn't like us very much because he's a title claimant. If we look at him, let's just go ahead and look at him. Why doesn't he like us? Title claimant. So this can be a way that you can get rid of these people who are title claimants when you don't have anybody else that needs to, you know, occupy this spot. Man, these guys hate us. I don't know why. Alright, well, fair enough. Let's go ahead and sign you up for that one too. Okay. Intrigue here. Oh, we actually could plot to revoke that. Unfortunately, nobody would back the plot. We have a prisoner, Tadg. Ah, yeah, he was the count. Okay. So we're not going to release him. Military, yes. Technology, laws, yeah. Okay, all right. I think we're ready to go. So, any factions? No. Oh, a faction. Increase council power in Mumu. So, yeah, he wants to increase the council power. Because right now, our council is empowered and can vote on war deck and imprisonment, but that's it. Everything else falls under the purvey of the ruler. And I'd kind of like to strip some of the power out of the... Ooh, my hair looks lovely. I'd kind of like to defang the council even a little bit more, but not right now. I don't think that's wise, so... But they can only faction like this for 2 months, so chances are they're not going to get enough steam to be able to really do much of anything. Young Fursu seems to be a real explorer and experimenter. Oh, there it is. So he actually is going to become quick. Or we could step in and make him patient. Hell no. So now he is quick. Oh man, that's so good. That's so good, but he did become slothful. It's not good. My liege, my mission to Rome has so far been a success during my visit to the court of Pope Clemens III. So what this is an opinion bump with the Pope, which the Pope doesn't like us right now because we're gluttonous, we're arbitrary, and what else? We're double gluttonous is like double whammy with the Pope. Yeah. So, and we owe money to the Jewish moneylenders, so which I would like to pay back, but it's not like a high priority. So I like this error. Alert, council, discontent, name. Come on, Paradox. You do so well with everything else, and then you have these little mistakes like this sometimes. But you know, whatever. The game is amazing, so I'm not really going to complain too much. Council still discontent? No, they're gone. Okay. Oh, maybe it is still discontent. Why is I thought the council was only discontent for 2 months. Wow. Okay, maybe it's 2 years. Alright, well, I still don't think it's going to be a big deal, but... Okay, so this guy did die, so he was next in line here, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to roll this guy in. And basically, any way you cut it, once a bishop dies, he's going to take over. Which is, it's good because it gets him out of the succession, but it's also bad because I think he's still going to carry that title claimant debuff over, so he's probably going to like the Pope more than us, so he's not going to pay us any taxes. It has come to my attention that the Chancellor of Sildara, Mayor Cathasash of Sildara, has bribed and threatened his way through my domain, trying to get enough people to recognize a claim on my title that he has fabricated for his liege, Earl Male Seshlain of Sildara. Well, they better not use it. I've never, ever, ever seen the AI not use one, by the way. Yeah, Male Seshlain Mac Concabar Ua Male Seshlain. Wow, what a name. Has decided to go ahead and use a claim on my title despite having nothing more than a laughable and obviously fabricated document to back it up. So, that bastard. Basically, we become furious for 10 years at him. Chances of him actually pressing it, pretty damn low. Because we have we do have double his troops. And we'll have even more than that soon. Yeah, you can see, now that we're starting to get levies, it bumped into the max. So, we have almost triple what he has. So once we're fully reinforced, we have almost 4,000 troops now. Which is pretty dang high. Okay, so right on time, we get our hunting dog. Your courtier, Aid, has sent you a gift. It is a small puppy, but of the finest pedigree and destined to grow into a great hunting dog. So I've never done any of these, ever. And I don't know why you would. So if any of you watching have any insight into what this brings, feel free to share it. So we're going to accept the gracious gift. It gives us +1 diplomacy and +1 health for the life of the hunting dog. So that's pretty good. And we'll name it Hunter this time. So right now what's happening is we're kind of sitting around and we're either waiting for a claim to happen. Or do you still have a... You do, okay. He does still have his alliance with Gwynedd. So basically, we're either waiting on a claim to fire off or waiting on one of these two guys. The Gouty, nice. Oh, he's infirm. He's infirm. We're going to go ahead and put him on watch. And if he dies, we can attack this guy and take his land. We'll push this guy's claim. Okay, we can make a commander, it looks like. So we're going to make you a commander, sir, because you're pretty stout. We could always try to press like a tributary war, but what I've found about tributary wars is generally what happens is you weaken them down, and then the computer who actually has a claim will then attack. Your dog is growing quickly and is no longer a puppy. He runs fast and has a keen nose, and your dog handlers praise his good character. Good dog. Good dog. Uh-oh. Who's this? Second son. Okay, second son. So, this is where we have to make an interesting decision. Do we pick Thrift to try to get him a genius or quick as well? Call Aaron a spear strat. Do we go Struggle to try to make him strong? Or do we go Humility to try to make him Content? I think going Content might be a little bit too crazy, because if something does happen to our primary heir, we do not want him to be Content. That's terrible, 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 terrible to have on your character. So let's go Struggle with this guy. Let's go Struggle. Now the third son, we probably will try to make Content. Okay, so he did inherit our uncle, Bishop Lorcan. You can see he is a powerful vassal. So he wants a seat on the council. Yeah, he still does have the title claimant thing, but he's not very good. So we're not going to give him a seat on the council. Sorry, buddy. And we'll make you a commander. All right, so is there anybody that we would... Oh, no, we don't want him to be the successor of the other things as well. So who could we do here? We could do somebody that actually likes us. So this is our cousin. Yeah, he's Content. That would be good. Yeah, we'll just set him up. Now, like I said, once these children come of age, we may slot them in there to disqualify them from inheritance. I'm kind of wishy-washy on it. Okay, we could try to get a law going here. So we could try to go up to medium centralization. And they would actually pass it. Interesting. Could also do status of women. Everybody, they're like, no, bad idea. I don't know why. Revoke religious titles. Everybody's against that. I don't understand why they'd be against that. But this is good because it basically, if like a Lollard or a heretic, basically a Catholic heretic ends up taking power here, we can just revoke them without anything. Late feudal administration. Everybody's like, no. Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and go up to medium centralization. The main detriment to going up in centralization is that as you go up, you lose vassal limits. So when we jump from low to medium, we're going to lose 5 more vassal limit off this 21. So it'll take us down to 16. But as you can see, we only have 1. So and the positive is it's going to let us hold 1 more county. So we're going to go ahead and do it, especially since they like us right now. So. Young Fursu has finished his education in diplomacy. It's evident that he excelled in his studies. So he hit rank 2, not rank 1, which is unfortunate. But damn, his scores are pretty good. Pretty good. He doesn't really have anything too awful. I mean, the marshal's pretty bad, but we can fix that. Unfortunately, he is slothful, which is terrible. We need to get rid of that. Slothful is like the anti-diligent. And then lustful, which isn't... It's actually not that bad, but the church hates it, of course. So, all right, let's see if we can arrange him a marriage. Actually, let's do that in the next episode, because this episode's running on a little bit long. So, in the next episode, we're going to see if we can get him set up with a proper bride. And, yeah. So, thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, game on.